brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Got a question. Who is ready to party? Do y'all know it's Friday's Eve? That means it's late as night and the feeling's right. Ow!
Thirsty Thursday, man.
It's ladies' night, damn it. I don't want to hear about this Thirsty Thursdays crap. You know what that means? Sausage party. When you put out, hey buddies,
How did
come
that
on
has
over
what?
for a
Okay,
Thursday party, bro.
no.
Do you know what I say?
No, sir.
Sausage fest.
No, sir.
Sausage fest. I just busted you, and you know this.
Oh my gosh, man.
I got you, buddy.
Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty
That's what
Thursday
it is. The
is a
times
bunch
are
of-
a changing.
A bunch of dudes hanging around playing video games. Isn't that what y'all do now? Play video games and Dungeon Dragons was for the nerds when I grew up.
That's your style of stuff.
Yeah, no, that was not my style. I promise you. By the way, I will tell you, the guys that did play Dungeons and Dragons when I was growing up, it's amazing how they grew up, and now they've turned.
Thirsty Thursday is the night you go out to the bar and there's deals. That's how it works now, right? It's
That's
Thirsty
called Ladies' Night,
Thursday.
dog.
Okay, it's I'm not going to argue verbiage with you. I'm telling you what the kids say nowadays.
All right, 67129. 67129. We need help. Me and Gabe, we love to argue, and we're probably the best at it here on this station, other than Greg and Eli. And that's just because they've been married longer, okay? Let's just be real. They're the oldest married couple in sports radio. I congratulate them for making it this long without killing each other. Me and Gabe are not married that long on the radio, but we sure can fight. And today, we need a little help. We need to know, in my opinion, am I old for thinking Thirsty Thursday sounds like a sausage fest, while late is night because the feeling's right sounds like a party, like a rock star. And by the way, do y'all know, I do bring up, Friday's Eve a lot. Thirsty Thursdays is my man Gabe's thing. Again, I call that Sausage Fest Party 2019. I love Ladies' Night, but I talk about because we're getting ready. We used to have football on Thursday. There's a lot of good things going on Thursdays, especially like Ladies' Night. There's all kinds of things going on. But just a little sidebar. Did you know Eddie Murphy is going to do a little guest hosting of, SNL? Did you know that?
Oh, that'll be great.
Dude.
When is this going to happen?
This is happening, and guess who he's going to be with? And I have to say, in my opinion, this is straight up balling. Lizzo's going to be there too. So you're going to have Eddie Murphy and Lizzo. And by the way, this is a dude who did it in the hot tub. All right.
Did you
Too
get to-
hot for the hot tub.
Did you see her dress at the Lakers game that one night?
Dude, when she was shaking her booty twerking,
Yeah.
that was the twerk master of all twerk.
Yeah.
Dude, and by the way, I got to
But
give
did
her...
you say, literally cut out the butt of a dress?
Can I just say
It's
one thing real quickly? I'm gonna help everybody out real quick. First and foremost, welcome into Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Do y'all know how much I love y'all for joining me? I appreciate you so much, and we have a very busy show. I got my very dear friend Lee Smith at 1:30. Bottom of this hour is from the Tri-State Defender to talk about the Grizzlies. I got my dear friend Isaac Simpson, who's going to join me at 2 Thursday. And we're going to talk about everything from the Tigers football to the Tigers basketball to everything in between. And guess what? Also, what the people want. Because, again, I am here for the people. I'm going to talk my buddy Bill Bell at 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. My buddy Bill texted in. He wants to talk about Jerry Jones. He says there's a little something positive about Jerry I can talk about. I know what he's talking about. Don't worry, I'll get to that bad boy for you, Bill, in a little bit of hardwood action. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, but yes, back to what I was saying. Eddie Murphy. This is not a joke. He is returning. Eddie Murphy, basically coming back to Saturday Night Live. And if you are my age or older even, but like still like kind of, how do I say this? Close enough to remember. Do you know what I mean by that? By the way, it's December 21st. That's when it's happening. And this is live. It's Saturday Night Live. If you didn't know, the 21st, by the way, is, well, it's Friday night's Eve, right? Like it's like we partying. It's ladies' night, not Thirsty Thursday.
Go look at the tweet I put out.
So tomorrow,
you're gonna hate the tweet I put out.
Probably gonna hate it. Tomorrow we got Friday, so we're gonna party like rock stars, right? And then guess what? Bing, bang, boom. Saturday will be here. Saturday Night Live, Eddie Murphy, Lizzo. And I do have to say, in all honesty, this could be one of the best ever. And it's 35 years. 35 years since the day Eddie Murphy was on Saturday Night Live. And this is how I want to start my show personally. I wanted to talk about, one, first and foremost, is it Ladies' Night or is it Thirsty Thursdays? And if you say Thirsty Thursdays, are you basically saying that you're down with Sausage Fest? Just please fill in the blank for me. I need this answer. And if you're saying it's Ladies' Night because it's not Thursday, because it sounds sausage, I also want to hear this. Now, these are the questions that we all must have answered. Now, Eddie Murphy, by the way, I know a lot of people are going to sit here who are young. And if I have some young people listening, and I know you're thinking to yourself, how the heck is he talking about Eddie Murphy right now? Well, one, I'm a deadgum entertainer. And we talk about sports most of the damn time. But Eddie Murphy and Eddie Murphy Raw, and when that dude went out there and wore straight up leather, and the way he talked, and at 19 years old, was on Lauren Roberts' show at Saturday Night Live, you know what I'm saying? That was straight up balling, and he had probably the best characters ever on Saturday Night Live. And I want you people out there, as we kind of look back over the years, and at the end of the year, usually people look back at, hey, remember 2019? Let's look back at this year. No. Today, I want you at 67129 tell me, like, we know Axel Foley. We all know, when he played Buddy Love and all these, like, TV shows. I'm talking about for the people who remember him. And I ain't talking about Reggie Hammond either. I'm talking about Real Deal Holyfield. I'm talking about SNL. I want to talk about Hot in the Hot Tub. I want to talk about his most memorable characters, your favorite ones. And I want you to hit me at 67129. 67129. That is the text line. If you've never joined that, please join it. Hit me up at 67129. I'm also curious, because of today's and political correctness, and because of the change of Eddie Murphy, go back and look at Eddie Murphy Raw. And if you're old enough to remember this, you will remember that Eddie Murphy was one of the wildest, dirtiest people on planet Earth when he first came out. Like, the F word was his favorite word, just like a lot of people's.
And he used to run around with Rick James all the time, man.
I'm Rick James, bleep. He did probably so much yay, it's not even funny.
And made some songs too with Rick James, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? I mean, this was like, funk days, kind of, right?
By the way, this is also in for Gabe though. By the way, in funk days he did everything, but you have to also look back to when he did Saturday Night Live. I mean, think about the people that we're talking about. I mean, we had Eddie Murphy. You had my man, it's such a perfect time because it's Christmas time. What do you think of when you think of Christmas? And basically what I'm trying to get at is like Vegas vacation and things. People think of like what is it? The Christmas. What is Deadgummit Chevy Chase's Christmas thing?
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation. Thank you. Wow, man, it was so simple. I was like Vegas Vacation. What's the Christmas
okay, you take
one?
vacation, the word. What's the Christmas one?
Oh,
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, are they all vacations?
Yes, all of them.
Oh, thank you.
On middays, we were reading a bunch of,
I was using
Cousin Eddie,
some
Eddie
hardcore
quotes.
brain power there. But what I'm saying is like you think about like Beverly Hills Cop and Christmas Vacation and Chevy Chase, but like if you think about the characters that came back from back then, and I'm just telling you, man, in my opinion, Saturday Night Live has never been the same because you can't have, I don't know if you politically correctly could have buckwheat anymore. Do you think you can? Or, hey, welcome to Mr. Robinson's neighborhood. Do you remember that at all? Like it was the ghetto spin on the dude. They're doing a show on him right now. The real Mr. Robinson, like Mr. Robinson, and he would come in down there and he's like, "Hey, boys and girls, how y'all doing? I'm doing great. I got nobody in my house today because my wife just left me." Then you had, of course, basically buckwheat, Gumby. Trying to think of somebody else. Velvet Jones. You remember Velvet Jones, right? You don't remember any of this?
I know buckwheat. Who's Velvet Jones?
Don't even worry about it. If you don't know Velvet Jones,
Gosh, you're always doing this to me, man.
All right,
like
so
I don't know the references.
Velvet Jones was basically a pimp who promoted a book on. Can I say this? His book was "I Want to Be a Hoe." And it was a self-help guide to being a hoe. And his name was Velvet Jones. And it was hilarious. And I figured since they played this thing on like CBS, there ain't nothing I'm doing that I can't do. And he was like, "I want to drive a pink Cadillac and wear diamonds." And then he says, and this is what I'm saying, you couldn't get away with this because he says, "And I'm gonna teach you how to kick women in the butt, and they're gonna know what to do." You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I'm kind of curious about how he's going to do his Saturday Night Live with Lizzo this weekend because comedy, and that's the only thing is, I mean, comedy is funny and it's always funny and it changes with time. But comedy right now, I've never seen it probably more difficult to be a comedian. Like, I love comedy. I've seen some good ones out there. But I would think because of political correctness and people getting so offended and taking it too far.
If you have seen Dave Chappelle's new stuff, and I think he's one of the only guys who gets away with the political incorrectness because he knows how to frame it correctly, but I still think there's a lot of
by the
people,
way, hold on, time out,
people don't think about
this is something we couldn't have got away with, and he's 100% correctly. I forgot about this, and you go right back. I'm so sorry. I just got told, and this is 100% true. There's no way, because one of his books was also 12 Easy Ways to Stomp a You-Know-What. So what I'm saying is, and this was all hilarious and on TV, and it had every single person backing it. Today, I can't even say it.
No, the thing is, there's less of it. That's what I was trying to say about Dave Chappelle. There's less of the political incorrectness, but it's still there. It's still there. It's just the amount of people that choose to listen to it and take it in. Because like if you go back last year and this year and look at Dave Chappelle's Netflix specials, his stand-up, everything like that, there is a lot of things in there that could offend a huge part of the population. And he frames it correctly. And I think there's a lot of comedians out there that know that he's one of the only guys that gets away with it anymore.
Dude, Eddie Murphy back in the day, though, from when he did, like I said, Rick James in the hot tub. I mean, James Brown in the hot tub. Rick James. I always think of Dave. You were talking Dave Chappelle, and I think of Rick James, and you know what I'm saying. And Charlie Murphy, his brother, coming in there, and I'm Rick James. But anyway,
I mean, who was happy when the Chappelle show went off the air?
Dude, nobody.
Who was happy?
They offered him $50 million to keep it going. But what I'm trying to say is, Eddie Murphy did Stevie Wonder. He also did one of the sketches that you couldn't do again today, where he dressed up as a white man. Oh my goodness. And he goes out and he goes into like this one convenience store and it's hilarious. And he's the only white dude in the store. There's another white dude and he walks up with a cup of coffee and a newspaper. And the dude behind the counter goes, "What are you doing, dude? Nobody's in the store. You know we got each other." And he looks at him and he's like, Oh, that's right. I had forgotten the code. Thank you, guys. And walks out, and it's just the stuff he got away with back then, and it was hilarious because a lot of it. The bad thing about unfortunately, one of the great things about comedy is a lot of times you're poking fun of reality, and sometimes with a laughter you can change all of society, and I still believe that. I think we take ourselves way too serious. I know I didn't expect to spend this much time on this. It's just amazing. It's like if I do a fart joke, I get 10,000 people who text the show. I mentioned Eddie Murphy, and it's like everybody and their grandmothers hit me up. My phone's blowing up. I'm sure y'all could hear that. And it's funny. And by the way, just to be nice, sorry, Gabe, a couple of my friends said,
Look, the text line. I'm on the wrong side of history here, apparently.
Yeah,
but the thing
sausage.
is, history. By the way, history. This is your thought. This is a lot of people over 40's thought.
What one guy did say. Hey, I'm not from Gabe's generation, and I do know that maybe a sausage party is a little bit different of a thing these days.
All right, man.
But
my buddy Cliff texts in, and he echoes those sentiments. But I disagree with y'all wholeheartedly. y'all are our audience
Gumby,
may be a little older.
By the way, that's another one. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Did you ever see Eddie Murphy do Gumby? I forgot about that one.
No,
that was
I
one
have
of
not
the
seen
greatest
that one.
sketches. See,
But,
Saturday Night Live and Eddie Murphy. This is something for people that are old like me and you're young. And I want you to watch this with Lizzo. I don't know what's going to happen this Saturday, but I kind of want, I am excited, but I'm also scared because I sure don't want to see, Crump and Professor Crump and all the things that Eddie's done lately. Don't get me twisted. Eddie Murphy is supremely talented. Eddie Murphy has got 10 kids. He's a great father. He has changed from dropping more F-bombs and being somebody that he's turned into somebody respectful. And again, I'm going to tell you something. I'm actually doing a speech tonight. And I don't know if you know this. You're going to laugh at me. Little sidebar, by the way. Do you know how many I know you don't know this. I know that you don't know this. Do you know how many verses there are in the Bible? Or how many commandments there are in the Bible?
Commandments?
Yeah, how many
10.
commandments are there? Everybody says that. There's 683.
Oh, wow.
600. Everybody knows the Big Ten. But I changed something. What about this? What if you just had 7? Made it a little bit simpler. And this is kind of giving you a little, hint on my speech so you can tell me if it's all right. 1, be courageous. 2, you don't have to be the best. Just do your best. 3, have integrity and don't confuse it with reputation. Social media is BS. After you screw up, step up. Don't be a bleep. Be forgiving. Be charitable. Don't put up walls, build bridges, damn it. What you think?
Yeah,
I
I think the wording and you don't need to add the damn it's and the bleeps, but
it's 2019. We got to get this PC out. I can't even do Gumby, man. I can't even bring Velvet Jones in. Velvet Jones was hilarious. Think about all the things that we can't do, man. Did you know that Paul McCartney back in 1993 was on SNL? His skit was hilarious. Did you know what? I read it. There is no way in heck you could do it today. There's so many skits you couldn't do back in the day that you used to be able to do. But anyway, SNL does have Eddie Murphy. It's going to be balling. One other thing, though, is the world is a-changing, and I do want to mention this before I get to my next guest, and I do have to go. The good thing about the world is we have seen things change. By the way, did you know in 1967 there was a Leland Drew game? Do you know who Leland Drew are? This is like Mississippi basketball, like history.
This is the Archie Manning thing, right?
How'd you know?
I know things, man.
Do you know what the final score was in that game?
I do.
What was it?
4-2.
Yep. 4-2.
That's horrible, man.
This was a basketball game, yo.
That's shot clock, high school. You need to get that thing involved. 4-2. They were playing four corners the whole game, huh?
Dude, I think the hilarious part about it is how they talk about he scored with 7 minutes and 58 seconds left in the ball game. They didn't take another shot until there was like 30 seconds left in the ball game. Like, anyway, basically what I'm trying to get at is, before I go, is basketball has come a long way. We got a shot clock. We have made changes. When we come back, I'm going to talk about basketball in a different way, and I'm going to talk about the Grizzlies. And do we actually have, realistically, the best two young players that have just come out of this draft? Do we have somebody in Kleiman that we may realistically need to start trusting and loving? And what are you looking at?
This text line cracks me up.
Oh, yeah, the text line is amazing.
Somebody says, Gabe, excuse me, Eddie Murphy is great. This younger generation still watches SpongeBob.
Get him!
I know
Thank
Eddie
you.
Murphy, man. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Dude, no,
what's
he's
the
more
deal
with.
here?
Dude, let me tell you something. He don't even know who. Let me tell you a little secret. Gabe
talking
doesn't
about
even
me?
know who Tony the Tiger is. I bet. Great. By the way, this has nothing to do with the University of Memphis. This was just cereal back in the day. I'm just messing with you. I'm
Mike
sorry.
off for the rest of the day.
Oh, no.
You're
Don't you even
freestyling.
think about
You're
it.
freestyling
I don't
the
mind
rest of the day.
freestyling because you know what I'll do? I'll just start educating everybody. It's going to be on. But speaking about education, we realistically going down because we're about to learn that basketball has got two choices. And by the way, I think that, LeBron James, and I want to give a big old, like, what is up, LeBron, dude? I killed him after the stuff from China. I didn't like what he said. I think he was very self-serving. But right now, listening to what he's talking about with the fans, and if a kid shows up and he's not playing because of load management, and that this younger generation needs to stop and wake up and think that, hey, maybe I don't need to go out to the Shake Junt till 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe I don't need to eat 12 cheeseburgers at 4 a.m. Maybe I shouldn't spend every single night at the club. If you want to be a professional because you make millions of dollars, and what you can do with your time, because it is a very short time. Very, very short time in your lifespan. And this is LeBron James. By the way, you didn't see this, obviously, did you? You're looking at me like I'm crazy, Gabe. Go ahead. What?
I mean, you're just trashing the younger generation. I mean, just absolutely.
How? No. I don't. How am I trashing the
You're
younger
saying
generation?
they all go out to Shake John's till 4 a.m. and eat cheeseburgers.
No, this
and
is
don't
LeBron.
act like a
LeBron
professional.
James, who said that load management and people that sit there and practice that need to realize you only play 82 games a year in the postseason. And if you can't show up, if you're healthy because of, quote, load management, then you're not a true professional. And if that's coming from Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and the best that have ever played, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson,
but
I had Tobias Harris,
LeBron
dad,
is
Terrell.
but
No,
it's
did you not?
interesting.
No, I just used his words verbatim.
I'm not. I think load
He said
management has
being
gone
a
too far.
professional-
But I will say this as well. LeBron has practiced that. He has literally
He
load
has, so he
managed
can
before.
say it. No, he has not. No,
Yes, he has. He has
No,
sat
no,
down
no, no,
games
no.
when he's healthy. Absolutely. For rest.
Well, he said
Absolutely
he's
in the past.
never. He said if he could get on the court and play, he said he has always gone out there and played. And if you look at it, go ahead, pull him up.
Okay, I'll
During
pull
the
it up.
break, see how many games he's played in the regular season. I don't think you're going to have an issue with LeBron James playing. I'm guaranteeing you that. And I don't think he would go on his show and sit there and say, "I have not." Like, why would he go out there and just flat out lie on his TV show? Why would he go? A kid could come out to see me and his family spend their yearly. Basically, I understand how important the fans are. They come, they spend their salary at my work, and I'm going to just sit because of load management. And he said that's a load of BS. And this is LeBron James? No, I'm sorry. I'm actually going to say it's true. I don't understand how it is that I can have Tobias Harris's dad come on, Michael Jordan's come out against load management. LeBron James just made a huge statement about it. And we have a lot of people saying that it is the worst thing that's ever happened to sports. But the only generation that doesn't get it, so I guess I am trashing. It is your generation and younger. I know y'all grew up with cell phones and didn't have to walk, up both ways to school and in the snow and all that good stuff.
We need to get to a break before you, because look, I'm going to go through LeBron since 2014. Okay, 69 games, 2014. 76, 74. He played 82 in 2017, 2018. 55 last year. He was hurt. He has not, there's only 1 year where he played all 82 games.
Okay, no. Tell me a year outside of one that he missed. He didn't play 70.
2014, 2015. Last year.
Under
11, 12.
Only 1 year than under 60.
11, 12.
Oh, you're so full of it. He's played more games. He's played more postseason games than anybody in the history. He's played more minutes than anybody other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, these are facts. And the dude plays when
absolutely.
He doesn't do load management.
But he does. He has rested. He has rested before.
You know
he
what?
Absolutely has rested before. Absolutely has.
Okay. Well, anyway, he says it's the biggest thing, and I agree with him. I think it's when people are 5 games into a season missing games. Especially when they're 19 years old, I absolutely agree with them. It's one of the biggest travesties in the history of the game. And if you want this thing to continue to succeed, you're going to have to start playing. And by the way, if he was wrong, the numbers would be going up instead of down. It would be going up in popularity. Outside the United States, it's going up. Inside of the United States, it's tanking. 901-360-825. Don't call, though, in the next segment. Lee Sterling. I forgot. Not Lee Sterling. Lee Smith, Tri-State Defender, is actually coming up now. Don't touch that dial. Sports 56, 96.1, and I'm Ray Lee, 87.7 FM.
Sports Time with Rollo and Stacks. Every weekday afternoon from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year. Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. When we put them in nice packaging, we don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together, so the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
That's the sound of NyQuil Severe hard at work. NyQuil Severe is the best sleep with a cold medicine. No tossing and turning, just rest and recovery. So you're ready to take on tomorrow. For powerful relief of your worst cold and flu symptoms, try NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold? Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I buy houses.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
What is up? What is up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Oh, I love talking with all of y'all. A lot of y'all are absolutely hilarious, by the way. I absolutely love y'all on Twitter at 67129. Some of y'all are crazier than Cooter Brown. Let's just be real. But I love y'all still. Send in anything you want to. And I don't think Lee's going to join me. So you know what you can do? If you want to, you can hop on at 901-360-8255 because I am chilling like a villain. And I'm talking with Gabe. And we're having a little happy hour on a Friday's Eve. And on a ladies' night because it feels so right. Because my good friend at Hempville, by the way, is like the Apple store of CBD. And hemp stands for helping educate more people. By the way, educating people that your endocrine system and cannabinoids and CBD and all of these things and what you can do to make your life feel so much better. It's unbelievable. Like this military vet went into my man Ben's store. He had PTSD. They get him some stuff, comes back about a month later and says literally, he's almost in tears. He's like, thank you so much for helping me out. I'm being dead serious. With it being the Christmas season, with us all talking about all kinds of just different things here and there, check out Hempville. And I brought in a lefty. Do you remember that lefty I showed on TV?
Yeah.
That was pretty dope, wasn't it?
That was definitely interesting.
Did you know Hempville is the only store in South Haven and Oxford that you can actually go and buy flour and actual doobies? Now, they have vape, they have tinctures, they have bath balls, they have everything you could ever imagine.
Have you used your bath bombs? That was my next question.
Dude, do y'all really want to hear this? Yes, of course I have. I loved it. Yes.
Very relaxing.
Chilling like a mug, dog. Can I tell you something? I smoked a lefty and sat there and did a bath ball. And I ate a gummy. Okay? I was having a good night.
You didn't Dion Waiters it, did you?
No. I don't get
no
see,
season
that's what I'm
out.
saying.
Right?
I got no man. Dude, that's
right,
the other thing dude.
Cool.
I'm telling you, man. Hempville is the real deal, Holyfield. And again, Jackson Avenue in West Oxford, Mississippi. You can call them at 662-934-2121. How easy is that? 662-934-2121. If you have a question, call my buddy Ben or just stop in 1801 Jackson Avenue in West Oxford. CBD, holistic health. It is there for you. And then, go ahead.
Text line. Party all the time. Eddie Murphy and Rick James. They say, love your show. Look, that's what I was referring to earlier. That you know that song "Party All the Time"?
Party All the Time
by Rick. It's Rick James and Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was the main guy who made that song.
I did not.
When he was running
that.
around with Rick James. I don't think I can play it on the air.
I don't think you can, but I like it.
But it is definitely a classic right there.
I dig that. And by the way, the other place you can get a lefty, or you can get a bath ball, or you can get anything. But again, it's like the Apple store of CBD. It's at 6. I keep saying 6. 562 Goodman Road. 562 Goodman Road. 562 Goodman Road. Or call them at 662-536-6046. Lots of sixes in there. 662-536-0646. Bing, bang, boom. Hippenville. It is a baller. Now, my buddy Lee. What's up, Lee? How's life treating you, Lee?
Hey, man, how you doing, bro?
Lee, I
Merry
gotta tell you
Christmas.
something, man. It is
And happy holidays to everybody.
man. Happy holidays to the whole world. You always come with something absolutely super kind. Speaking of super kind and super sweet, it's a Thirsty Thursday according to Gabe. I call it Ladies' Night or Friday's Eve. Real quick question to settle a debate. Would you call Thirsty Thursday if somebody said, "Hey, come over to my Thirsty Thursday"?
See, but now you're
party,
asking it with your
would
slant.
you-
That doesn't count.
Okay, it doesn't sound okay.
Just ask which
Just let
one
me
he would
ask-
call. What he would call it.
Would you call it Thirsty Thursday or Ladies' Night?
I would not call it Thirsty Thursday.
Because that sounds
There's-
very sausage, doesn't it?
There's not a context where I think that's like a compliment or attractive to the feminine of the species.
I am so with you, dude. I love you, Lee. You just made my day. Gabe's he's a very, very big guy. I said one day to him, I think I sent him a text. I think it was hilarious. I don't know what I sent him. I say stupid things, but it was like, fee, fi, fo, fung. If I was big as you, never mind. I don't think I can say it legally on air.
In fairness, I will say this. There was a time, I am a man of a certain age, and I remember when thirsty just really meant, you needed something to kind of quench your throat. But, we got
yeah.
entendres now, so it doesn't work so much.
Yeah, things have changed a little bit, you could say, haven't they? The whole world has
Yeah.
changed. And by the way,
It used
before
to
I jump
just
into
mean you wanted a
basketball,
beverage.
hold on, this is important. You know Eddie
Okay.
Murphy is back after 35 years on Saturday Night Live.
I've been looking forward to this probably since about then.
Now, can I
I'm an
ask you
Eddie Murphy
something?
dude,
I'm an
dude,
Eddie
yeah.
Murphy dude. I mean, are you kidding me? Eddie Murphy Raw. Think about all the dudes that he played. Think about from Gumby. Think about Buckwheat. Think about do you remember when he played Velvet Jones, the pimp writer, and he wrote the books, and like what I'm trying to say is
He
think
had so
about
many
his
characters.
comedy. Could he do that today?
No, probably not.
I don't think you
No.
can. Like Stevie Wonder, like the whole thing with that. James Brown, he might be able to do. But, man, I know Velvet Jones' school of, man, there's no way you could get away with that. There's just so many things that I look at today, and it is it is a shame. But I am looking forward to this, and I think it's going to be out of control. You know who's going to be with him, don't you?
Who's going to be with him?
Lizzo.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be pretty dope.
That's going to be pretty wild. Yeah, man. Eddie Murphy is fantastic. I got deep theories about that guy, man. Nothing controversial. I just, like, for instance, I've watched him, like, interview on TV shows lately and stuff, and, he's still funny. But
Dude, I haven't
very,
seen him do an interview in so long. That's why I'm interested to hear this. Come on.
He's very, like, laid back. Well, he did the movie on Netflix. It's on Netflix now. Dolomite Is My Name. You should watch it. Check it out. But my theory on Eddie Murphy is this. It won't take long, I promise.
No, I don't care. Go.
He created in the 80s, whether it was intentional or not, but I think he created this larger-than-life character called Eddie Murphy, right?
Oh, I see.
And Eddie Murphy being and cracking all the jokes and being the wisecracking, young, black guy
Wearing
in the
leather,
80s who was
yeah.
unstoppable, right?
Mhm.
And then, over the course of time, I think that role of being Eddie Murphy kind of trapped him. And I think he kind of did some of those bad movies because he was kind of coasting on that. But I think I've always wanted to see Eddie Murphy do real serious head-on drama, and he started to do that later here. Dolomite Is My Name is both funny and poignant. He's a genius. So I'm curious to see what it's going to be like when he does comedy again, especially sketch comedy. And he's got a stand-up special coming on Netflix sometime next year, too.
No, I did not know that. I think it'll be totally different from Raw and all the stuff that we used to watch, but it'll be interesting to see. But I also will say, did you know that Reggie White would have been 58 today?
I did not know that.
Can you believe that? Minister of Defense, only 58 years old. Rest in peace, brother. He was probably the best football player and best human being all wrapped into one, if you know what I mean. He was just a great person. So
he was definitely an all-time great.
He really was. Now, I go there, and the reason I did is because I want to talk about a little bit of greatness, and we're talking about the University of Memphis and what they're doing right now. You look at the Grizzlies and what they're doing. If you look at the city, it feels like it has, like, from the Memphis, you got this star in Wiseman that they ain't even really watched him play. He's going to be back on January
I'm
12th.
so sorry to interrupt, and it has to do with James Wiseman. This is just coming down the pipeline from Shams. James Wiseman has left the University of Memphis and will sign with an agent and begin preparing for the 2020 NBA draft.
Okay.
Just dropped.
That just dropped, so that changed my whole narrative about how it feels like we have superstars in the city rising from basketball all the way up to Kenneth Gainwell at football. But at least we still have Kenneth Gainwell in football. But where I was going with this was when you get to the Grizzlies. Oh, yeah, I'm about to throw
Yes,
up
Lee, that just came down the pipeline from Shams.
Holy cow. Wow, I think I just
that ought to
feel
change the
earthquake on that
conversation.
one.
If somebody anxiety is what it does.
Great and disappointing?
That just changed everything.
Wow. So, well, okay, so knee-jerk reaction. So the words I used just a moment ago, that's great. You know, you can make a case. I mean, you know, in the context of today's conversation about, you know, whether or not NCAA athletes should be paid, you can make a case that it could.
How about not being paid, but how about just being, you know, like told they can play and then not lied to by the NCAA, the institution that represents them? How about that? Like, you just start with that. How about we stop screwing kids? God.
Yeah, where I was going was I was just going to say, you know, if he's, you can see him protecting his investment, his investment being, of course, his body and his career, by not necessarily putting it on the line. So, I mean, in principle, that's great for him. But wow. Disappointing for University of Memphis fans, because if you watch these Tigers play and how well they've been playing without him, you couldn't help but salivate over the idea of what it would be like when he was back on the court. And I'm sure, you know, Gabe any minute now is going to let me off with a December 1st, April 1st joke or something like that.
No, it's not, man. This ain't no joke, man. And by the way, I've been reading about how this could be the worst NBA draft class, 2020's weak, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he is taking off and he looks around the rest of it and you see all these number one teams losing. You don't see anybody necessarily separating themselves. He's maybe saying, if I don't come out, they can't sit there and critique me. I just go work. I go number one guaranteed. That's a lot of guaranteed damn money. Thank you, NCAA, for giving that to him and taking away also his dream of playing college basketball. Because I feel like that's almost basically what they did. And I feel like if you are actually, and I can't even be mad at him, but if I'm sitting there, and I'm just being honest, and I know it's just now November, but if you watch, have you been watching college basketball right now?
I haven't been. I've catch the Tigers when I can, but I haven't been able to catch a lot of other college basketball.
There's just, in all honesty, like I said, there's like the top 10. Holy cow. You talk about being fluid. That thing is as fluid as the river, man, Mississippi, and it's right by us, man. That thing's changing all the time. But James, he'll stay up there, and now he doesn't have to worry about an injury, or he doesn't have to get picked apart. And I can't blame him for his decision. I can only just say good luck. But I do have to say, I'm just wrapping this in one. Me and Lee are going to wrap. But anyway, no James Wiseman, but I was going to talk to you about how we had it felt like in this city, we had a young superstar who was getting ready to join Memphis, and I thought they were maybe going. I still think this team can make a run, one hell of a run. This is one heck of a basketball team. Wiseman is just one piece, and yes, we are going to miss him. He's probably going to be the number one draft pick in the NBA, but that does suck and that hurts. But this team is still damn good, and Penny's a great coach. But the Tigers with Gainwell, with them playing in the Cotton Bowl, where they're going, it feels like, at least it felt like the university was moving in the right direction. And then when you got to the pro organization in this city, it felt like they were the only one for the first time that got the draft right. In Kleiman, do we bleep and trust Clark? And right now, who's 1 and 2? And like, is Ja and Clark? Are they not? Are they 1 and 3?
It's Clark and Ja.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, you think it's Clark and Ja? I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Brandon, and in fact, that's Brandon is the focus of my column this week. I'll get that posted a little later this afternoon. But basically a focus on Brandon Clark and how he's an energy guy, right? And every good team needs one. But even more than that, he's so fundamentally sound that it enables him to have a game that's like, one of the things you hear about him, and it's true, he plays like a veteran. He takes high percentage shots that he's good at making, and he doesn't take a lot of bad shots. And then he's always hustling and active, around the basket, both on both ends of the court. And we were blown away when we saw all of the things that Ja can do. But wow, Brandon Clark is a beast in his own right, and right now he's the most efficient rookie in the NBA.
He's not just the most efficient rookie in the NBA. He looks by far like. I know we haven't seen Zion, but does he not look like the most athletic and the one that has the highest ceiling?
He can jump through the roof. And it's kind of terrifying if that's the case. Like if there are aspects of his game,
his landing,
that he hasn't developed yet. The scary thing I'd say about Brandon Clark is that again he seems to only really take good shots from places where he knows he can shoot and make them. So the thing that could happen with him is you get used to a certain level of production from him. And it becomes kind of ho-hum. It's like, oh, Brandon's always done that. He's been doing that since his rookie year, and you don't appreciate how great it is because he came out the gate, so darn good. I think his 36 minutes, he averages 20, 21 minutes now. But if you played that out over 36 minutes, he'd be a double-double guy every game, 21 and 10 every night. And wow, he's a special player.
Now, do you feel bad? Or do you feel good when you see the Grizzlies look great and then they blow a 24-point lead? They end up losing the game by 4. You see good things out of it, but you still see that loss. Does that make you feel good or does it bother you? Because right now I'm still in that thing is I want to see 3 good damn quarters and then I want them to lose the game.
I don't want them to lose the game, but wow, yeah. Thanks for taking so long to get to that one from last night, man. That was a painful one to watch.
That was painful, wasn't it?
It was painful, and so it had to be painful to go through. You could tell even in the post game that coach was still kind of.
Aren't these great opportunities for Taylor Jenkins, for this young squad to learn what it means to be a pro in the fourth quarter? Like I see them using the hey, for me the fact that there's an L, more ping pong balls. Hopefully it falls in the right direction. Hopefully they get the right guy. But what I'm also seeing is opportunities, because I can see the talent there in the beginning, but it's opportunities to learn how to be a pro and close things out. And that is something that's teachable. You can't teach a guy to jump 3 feet off the ground. You know what I mean? But you can teach people how to win a basketball game.
Well, yeah, and so that's your takeaway from it, right? Is that this is part of the arc. Like, if anybody's got kids, at some point your kid is going to skin their knee and they're going to cry like the sky is falling, and it's but that's going to happen because that's part of growing up. And in the case of the Grizzlies here, losing games like the one they lost last night in Oklahoma City, where they're up by 24 in the third, and then that last little flurry of action in those 35 seconds, that really tipped the momentum all the way. And from then the Thunder rolled. But you need those kinds of losses. And the good news is, really the great news is, one, by all accounts, and we've seen evidence of this already, Taylor is excellent at teaching these type of lessons to his players. And two, even as young as they are, players like Ja and Brandon and Jaren and really the rest of the tour all have a high enough IQ, and it hurts enough where they'll listen and pick it up. So the fact that you lose this kind of game this early in the season, I, again, expect to see. We've seen growth already. So, the sooner the better, the sooner they learn from it, and the faster they get better. So we're still only 3 games out of the playoffs right now.
Yeah, no. Okay. Hold up. I love you. You do realize this is the West, right? Like, I love Ja. I love Clark. I love me some Trey J. I think TJ's got things going in the right direction. But there is still the Lakers and the Clippers and the Nuggets, and I can go on. The Jazz with Mike Conley. Yeah, I know we whipped them up on. Heck, we lost Oklahoma City last night after having, a 24-point lead. Blew that bad boy. I just think the West is way too deep and to even think playoffs, right? Like, or am I crazy?
It's all crazy. I'm sitting up here grinning because I know somebody out there is like, is Lee serious about this? Like, I'm not. I don't know that. I'm not saying the Grizzlies are going to make the playoffs this year. I highly, highly doubt it. And yet, the growth has been encouraging. Like, we knew Ja Morant would be good. We didn't know he was going to be this good this quickly. And then you can take out his name and put Brandon Clarkson there. Right?
You didn't see a Grizzlies team scoring 110 points a game ever, did you?
So what?
You never really saw a Grizzlies team scoring like this. Like
right.
At least you just
or making threes
it.
for a change,
making
right?
threes, taking threes. I mean, think about Trey J and him taking threes the way he's been. And by the way, I was going to ask you this. Speaking of other guys like Big Cat in Minnesota, I feel like this is a guy who had so much. He ain't Anthony Davis. I don't know. He people thought he was going to be better than Anthony Davis. He has been disappointing. I can't figure out exactly why in Minnesota, but he had a lot of love when he first came into the league. He had a lot of love his rookie year in the league. Where is it that he messed up, and how is it that TJ makes sure that Trey J, Brandon Clark, Ja Morant never fall into that type of trap?
Well, I would say that the biggest part of it, and I mean, again, we've seen it. Taylor's teaching these guys how to be professionals. They've got guys like Jay Crowder and Solomon Hill also in the locker room to kind of be, that voice of maturity.
I say that because Minnesota's lost 8 games in a row, and I'll tell you one thing: I don't care how bad this Grizzlies team is. As a group of men, I just don't see them pulling off 8. You know what I'm saying? That is embarrassing.
Interestingly enough, though, that gets me back to why you can't rule anything out. Like, the Grizzlies have shown to be better so far. I mean, it's still very early. We're just over a third of the way through the season. So, yes, everybody pump your brakes. But we didn't expect them to be this good this quickly. And when you add in that there are other teams that are underperforming for whatever reason, like nobody saw Golden State exploding the way that it has. By now, we thought we would have seen Zion Williamson in New Orleans more and presumably winning more there, but they're not winning so much. And then you got other teams like San Antonio, which is still kind of on the bubble. So, I mean, there's still fluidity in the whole Western Conference with how everything shook out this past summer. So, the Grizzlies get on a run. You look up and they're, come February, they're
who knows, man? They do got Trey J, and they got Brandon Clark, and they got Ja, who's going to be Rookie of the Year. And I just got to say, in Kleiman, we trust. TJ's the real deal. Holyfield, go Taylor Jenkins. It's your birthday. We're going to party like it's your birthday. Merry Christmas, my brother. I will talk to you. Golly, will it be next year or will it be in between? We'll see. Who knows? It'll be around the corner. I know that. But I hope you have a very, very, very Merry Christmas. Hope you have a blessed New Year. And I talk to you very, very soon, Lee. Be good out there, brother.
Absolutely. Everybody out there, be safe this holiday season. Cherish the time you got with the ones you love.
And don't forget to pick up TSD, the actual paper edition, or go to tsdmemphis.com.
Exactly, of course. And have a great holiday season.
Hey, we will do it. Thank you so much, Lee. That's my friend Lee Smith, one of the greatest guys ever, and I hope he has a blessed time. And everybody check out his work over at tsdmemphis.com. For you old heads, it's try-statedefender.com, or pick it up. It comes out every single Thursday. We'll be right back because we're late for a break, as always. But remember, memphisfarmers.com and my man Chad Gatlin on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Join Sports 56 Middays this Friday from 10 to 1 at Classic Arms, 1740 Germantown Road behind Corky's. 'Tis the season at Classic Arms with all kinds of holiday specials. Pay no sales tax on all firearms. Buy, sell, trade, Classic Arms does it all. Plus, we'll be giving away Tigers basketball tickets and AutoZone Liberty Bowl tickets. We also have Garibaldi's Pizza, so we've got your lunch taken care of. That's this Friday at Classic Arms on Germantown Road behind Corky's. Come see us.
If you find yourself plumb tuckered out by all the holiday shopping and whatnot this holiday season, call yourself a timeout and go get some delicious breakfast or lunch at Sunrise on Jefferson. Get away from all the hustle and bustle and settle into a perfect breakfast bowl for breakfast or an unbeatable burger for lunch. The menu at Sunrise is full of surprises, so you'll never get tired of stopping in. You'll always find something you haven't tried at Sunrise, and we guarantee it'll be just as great as everything else you've had. The holidays can be pretty exhausting, so give yourself a break by giving yourself some Sunrise.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. Do not forget to buy lentils, or the lentil soup you're making for dinner will be sorely lacking. By the way, Mrs. Calloway says thanks for helping her bundle home and auto. She appreciates the extra savings, even though you kept using the word apropos incorrectly. But the main thing is do not forget to buy, what was it? Something apropos the lentil soup. Sorry, I'll call you back.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know: Benswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 125 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Benswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Benswanger Glass in Midtown, located at 340 South Hollywood, across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit their website, benswangerglass.com. Benswanger Glass.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells. Funny thing about the holidays is, nothing flies by faster.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one-horse open sleigh.
Well, actually, the Lexus December to Remember sales event also goes by fast. That's because for a very limited time, you'll find some of our best offers on our most popular models. But don't wait. Offers end January 2nd. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Lexus of Memphis.
Join Sports 56 Middays this Friday from 10 to 1 at Classic Arms, 1740 Germantown Road behind Corky's. 'Tis the season at Classic Arms with all kinds of holiday specials. Pay no sales tax on all firearms. Buy, sell, trade, Classic Arms does it all. Plus, we'll be giving away Tigers basketball tickets and AutoZone Liberty Bowl tickets. We also have Garibaldi's Pizza, so we've got your lunch taken care of. That's this Friday at Classic Arms on Germantown Road behind Corky's. Come see us.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home.
Get out right here. Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to ever win the World Series of Poker with a Scrabble board, Johnny Harden.
Yo, yo, welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. And if you haven't heard, it is not real. What I mean by what is not real is the season is not over. But Wiseman is not returning. That is real. Oh, welcome back into Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. I don't know how to do it any easier than that. I'm trying to let you down easy. But can I ask you a question? Can you blame the kid? Can you sit there and say, hey, kid, I'm so upset that you didn't come back and risk millions and millions and millions of dollars to go out there and play a few games after the NCAA basically, you know what they did to you.
Can I ask this question? If you were in a similar situation, would you make the same decision?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
100%.
Me too. I can't blame him at all. And honestly, as soon as the suspension was handed down,
I'm not shocked.
That was my thought process, and a lot of people on Twitter said I don't know why he would even risk it at this point,
dude.
Losing that much of a season.
RJ Hampton. I'm not trying to be an a-hole out there. I'm just trying LaMelo Ball. Just like outside of James Wiseman, can we be honest with you? Is it just me or does the 2020 draft suck? Like, I hate just saying words like that because that just is a crummy word. I don't want to talk about young people and saying that they're not good. There's a lot of young teams out there trying. I'm talking about the very upper echelon, 0.01% of the 1%. They aren't there this year. Wiseman was pretty much the 1%.
Last year wasn't great either.
No, Zion was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't see him win
it was
all.
Zion, Ja, and then a fall off dramatically.
And a huge fall off. We got lucky when we got to scoop up B. Clark. Wow. But anyway, the point is, by the way, people, I just also want y'all to understand something too. One, Wiseman will always be a Memphis Tiger. Love him, root for him, and I hope he does well in the NBA draft. Wiseman wanted to be a Memphis Tiger. Also want to remind y'all this. He came to the University of Memphis to be a Tiger. He signed on the dotted line. He played. They even hired an attorney. He was going to do everything. You know who screwed him? It wasn't Penny. It wasn't Dr. Rudd. It wasn't the University of Memphis. It was that unbelievably stupid, pointless, shouldn't have any power. I can't wait for actually... And I would never wish this evil on anybody, but I can't wait for like Congress to do something about this because the NCAA has outlived its purpose and its mission statement is to help student athletes, not hinder them. Its also mission statement was never to make multi-millionaire out of coaches and presidents while having the price of education skyrocket past the gross domestic product, past the regular amount of just regular inflation. I mean, anything. This was not what education was supposed to be about. The NCAA has outlived its purpose. Now, if its purpose was to become the minor league basically system for pro football, it did one hell of a job. By the way, for those out there saying, Title IX, Title IX, Title IX, ask Michigan State about Title IX. Ask Penn State about Title IX. Ask a couple colleges like Baylor about Title IX and how much that's actually working. So basically what I'm trying to explain to you is if the system does not work, why do we keep feeding the system billions of dollars? I hope we stop. Eventually we will. I might be late. A lot of people never thought weed would be legal. But right now, basically is. And eventually, it will not be legal just to continuously take advantage of young people. And unfortunately, that's what it is, because it's not just taking advantage of young people, and it's not just on an athletic scholarship. It's taking advantage of every young person, every student, every family that wants their kid to get a degree. Think about the Skinner loser and that dude who was doing the what was it, the admission scandal, like for the rich people. I mean, I'm just saying that what colleges has become is a damn sham, and what it's become is a damn shame. But what I will tell you, I love the university. I think the Memphis Tigers and Penny continue to do it. I think Ryan Silver's going to go get that W against Penn State. We're going to root them on. We're going to keep it up. And I do think last night, no matter what anybody says, and I don't know if y'all caught this, I know Lee didn't catch it, but I said I wanted to play great for 3 quarters. And, buddy, I thought they played great for 3 quarters. And I think they tried to get that L.
It's hard. I mean,
where was Trey in the fourth quarter?
I don't think they threw it, but I will say this, man.
Oh, okay.
Good God, did it look very suspicious having Solomon Hill in for the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Not playing Jaren, not playing DeAnthony Melton, who has been an absolute
on fire.
He's been great off the bench.
On fire.
John Morant didn't look good. I mean, it was a very interesting way to go out. If
Pass
you're the Grizzlies
right
last
to the
night.
other team.
Yeah,
here you go.
It was a very weird way to go out.
I think I was told to lose this. Here you go.
Weird way to go out.
Anyway, I told you I
say.
can't be happier because I watched them kick tail for 3 quarters, and then they got the L because they want more ping pong balls. Because again, y'all might say this draft ain't no good, but they still want somebody with this young talent because Trey J, Ja, and Clark, they some ballers. And I'm a little bit excited if you can't tell, but it is time to go to my favorite place in the wood, and that's Hardwood. But before I do, I want to remind you, I've been talking about CBD, and if you go to your CBD store, you're going to feel better. Your CBD store, 3157 Poplar, 680 North Germantown Parkway. Bing, bang, boom, you can be there in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. They are the winner of the Excellence Award. Do you know what that is? That's at the CBD Expo down in Miami, baby. Head on down there. SunMed products are the baller shot caller. Head on down to your CBD store, 3157 Poplar, 680 North Germantown Parkway. Get that CBD. Say hello to CBD. Say hasta mañana to pharmaceuticals. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Dang right it is. And I feel good about it being Access Hardwood because it's a weird day in this world. Did you know that? Finding out aliens are real from Gabe. They're coming to get me or something.
You found out that the younger generation calls Ladies' Night Thirsty Thursday?
Yeah, y'all are all like
we're all wrong.
Crazy.
I know you're resistant to change. It's okay.
No,
you can
no.
admit it.
Thirsty
It's okay. Up.
Sausage. Sausage. Sausage.
All right.
By the way, one guy also says that academically, a sausage party would probably be what he would want his kids to go to today now that he's an adult. I don't get it, but I'll take it.
Academically, okay.
I guess he's saying
all right.
I think he means.
Let's not try to break it down. Because,
I think he means as a parent.
All right. Let's not. I don't think we need to break it down any further than that.
I do think we don't need to go too far, but I do have to say something. This is very, very messed up. So did you see Chad Ocho hitting a 60-yard field goal?
He has a leg, and when he was with the Bengals on Hard Knocks, he hit they put him in there for extra point.
Extra point. Yeah. Is he going to
tried out for the LA Galaxy?
That's what I'm basically saying. His kicking got so bad that we're really going to see Chad Ochocinco kicking, and this is real deal Holyfield. Is he really going to be kicking?
No, I'll tell you why. One, his form doesn't look good. I think any NFL kicker would tell you that. And also those tees, those like setup tees, I have seen like Jake Elliott back in the day when he used to put it and tee it up with that. He used to hit like 65, 70 yarders.
Oh, really?
Like, you can.
It's a big difference.
You can nail them. Yeah, because it's not a snap hold because the hold takes a lot out of it. It's the hand. You don't know the pressure.
That's
they
a good
don't know
point.
if the laces are out. You know what I mean?
They also,
So
I mean, like, I hate to say this, they put Pat McAfee video out of him kicking like a 50-yard field goal yesterday. And I know he used to be a kicker and everything, but right now, the only thing he's kicking back, it looks like, is like jelly donuts and like beers. All right? I'm just telling you. He looks more like a retired offensive lineman than a kicker. Sorry. Now, can I ask you a question? If you got arrested and you came to your coach and said, do you want to know why I balled out last week so bad?
Because I got arrested for pot.
Yep. Would you want your player to get arrested for pot if he was going to come out and ball like a beast like that? It's catch-22. How do you feel?
Antoine Woods, huh?
How'd you know what I was talking about?
Because I saw it. I saw the story. It's hilarious.
It's the greatest story I think I've ever heard.
I see. Here's the
Hold
thing.
on.
He was mad. Maybe. I guess.
He was mad.
Yeah.
But what about this? How great of a question is this? So you came out and you were a beast last week in a 44-21 rout of the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday. What would you say was a contributing factor to that performance? I just wanted to get out all the negativity, to get it out of the way, and just put something positive on my life. You know, I was arrested for absolutely nothing, for weed.
Wait, this is the same guy that was going 17 miles per hour over the speed limit in his car with 2 to 4 ounces of pot. He didn't do anything? That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Hey, he just wanted something positive in his damn life, okay? And he also said during the stop, the cops, they smelled a strong odor of weed. Wasn't because he was smoking it, by the way, because he knows not to smoke and drive. All right? He wouldn't be speeding, he said, if he was smoking.
I think saying he didn't do anything.
I
is a
just love
stretch,
the way
for
he
sure.
talks about it when he's talking about his weed, how aggressive he is. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to give him a joint like immediately and let him hit it before I interview him. Like, then I'll feel comfortable talking to him. Because without pot, that dude seems very angry. Like, damn, give that guy a lefty. You know what I'm saying?
I just find it hilarious. Again, I'm going to go back to this. He didn't do anything.
No, he didn't.
Come on. 2 to 4
No,
ounces of pot.
This is my best
going
part.
14 or 17 miles an hour over the speed limit. And not to mention his pot. Isn't that the guy who had gold?
Yes,
his
he did.
jars were gold.
Yes,
Yeah.
his guards were. By the way, can I just say something? You're a serious awesome. Like, you're a pothead.
If that's what you're
I've
gonna-
seen people with mason jars, and I thought they were like, dude, you take your pot a little too serious because you're like, only put it in like glass mason jars, man. You know, like, yeah, bruh.
It preserves it.
Or only
you know?
hand-blown glasses with like a corkscrew or something. Like, dude, shut up, dude. Just smoke it. Or cook it or something, damn it. I don't want to look
God.
at it all day. But hold on, I want you to read this. This is one of my favorite ones. He's like, damn it. He's like, you know, I logged 5 tackles. I was all over the nose tackle. Let me tell you something. He said, Jared Goff, Ty Gurley, man, they were unlucky I got arrested. I'm a kid from the ghetto. Football's always been my outlet, my whole life. I've got almost 2 degrees from football. So, yeah. Basically,
Angry
what he
man.
was saying, don't you arrest him before a football game if you want to lose. Like, if you want the Cowboys to win, somebody right now needs to go pull this guy over, arrest his ass, take him to jail, let him out right before the game, and just Eagles Carson Wentz.
Don't
is
even tell him
over.
the game plan. Just
Dude,
line him up.
Just
line him up.
And let him go. Because like he said, this kid's, he's serious. Antoine Woods ain't playing. He did nothing.
I wonder how he would handle being under Tom Coughlin's. You
That's
hear
where
about
I
all
was
this?
going.
This is horrible.
This is
Tom
so
Coughlin has been completely fired
How
by
did you know that I
Jaguars
was
owner
going?
Shad Khan. He was the he was the executive vice president of football operations. Tom
Leonard
Coughlin
Fournette is, by the way, just so you know, Leonard Fournette is reading this going,
listen,
dude, he never played
listen
for
to
Tom
this.
Coughlin.
Listen to this. Leonard Fournette, actually, the fine that Tom Coughlin passed down to him shed some light on what was going on in the Jaguars organization. Leonard Fournette was fined $99,000 for, get this, guys.
He was sitting on the bench.
He was sitting on the bench when he was hurt.
Hi, guys. Hey,
He
I'm
was
with the
he was
team.
in street clothes sitting
Go
on the
team.
bench. Street clothes sitting on the bench. Is that worth $99,000?
Do you know what? They
Not a
were
chance.
pissed, don't you? You know why? They wanted him dressed as a cheerleader. They were like,
They wanted him a belly shirt.
they're
and
like,
all
if
that.
Lizzo can wear a dead gum thong in a Lakers game, you can represent at a Jags game, okay?
But anyways, Tom Coughlin is 73 years old, okay? And he held his guys to ridiculous standards. Did you know, John, do you know the stat about the percentage of grievances filed in the NFL last year? What is the percentage of grievances filed by Jaguars players? Take a guess.
Actually,
25%.
Hold on. Wait.
There's
Time out,
32 NFL teams, and 25% of the grievances
Are you
of
talking
all the
about
NFL.
all the grievances
In the NFL. All the grievances in the NFL, 25% were from the Jaguars organization. And the NFL sent out a warning email to guys in the NFL saying, do not sign with the Jaguars.
Can I just tell you a little secret? If I was working at the NFL office, and here's just so you know my life, I do a 2-hour radio show, and it is less than 8% of my job. Like, I love this part of my job. But when I go to my emails, like, I have more emails than you can imagine. And if 25% of them were from one idiot, I would fire him.
And then, I mean, imagine literally getting an email. You're the Jaguars owner. You're Shad Khan. And you realize that an email went out saying don't sign with your franchise. You have to cut ties with the guy, right? Like, immediately. It should have been done earlier if this was the case. He should know that 25% of the grievances filed in the NFL are from his players. He should know that. Another example of what he did.
And another thing, by the way, just so you know he's crazy, I think he's the cheerleader who's singing for Eli to be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, of course. I mean, he was his coach.
I'm just kidding.
Of course he was.
I'm waiting
of course
for that.
he's an Eli guy.
You hate Eli guy.
But with Dante Fowler, the reason Dante Fowler, ended up getting traded to the Rams and cutting ties with the Jaguars is he had to go to rehab for his knee. He didn't show up to one session. One session. He was fined $700,000. I mean, come on, man. Tom Coughlin. I get old school. I get you hold people to high standards, but damn.
Have you ever heard of that president? I think his name is like Durant or something. I think he runs the Philippines or something. He's like been killing all the drug dealers. And somebody told me, or at least a story I was reading, like he killed all the drug dealers, took all their drugs, and then started selling them to other countries or some other dude. And that's basically like, come on, you don't do it like that. I guess you do. Or, like, what are you doing, Tom? They play for you. Don't you want them to, want to play for you? Like, not like the rumors from the Browns, like, come and get me now. Like, don't you want...
They don't want to go to the Jaguars. I'll tell you that right now.
So
man.
the Browns and the Jags, it seems like nobody wants to play for.
You know what's interesting is how many free agents they've signed. I mean, A.J. Bouye, Calais Campbell, Nick Foles. Like, how do they get these guys?
Trickery.
I mean, they gave them a lot of money, but, like, if you're going to fine them for half their money every year for sitting on the bench while they're hurt, like, I don't think they would want to come there. Like, that's rough, man. Tom Coughlin, he probably will not get another job in football.
I have to say, this honestly is the end of Tom. Let's be real. It's kind of like when Jeff Fisher and McVay took over and Goff went from looking like the worst quarterback in the history of the world to they went to a Super Bowl. They were like, yeah, I think Jeff Fisher's days of coaching are kind of over. Yeah, I think we realized that. Again, a couple people were texting or saying that if I can get Antoine Woods right after he's arrested for smoking weed,
can we call
him?
Can we please call him Antoine Weed now?
I like that, Antoine Weed. But by the way, he doesn't ball out nearly as hard if he's not arrested for weed.
We have to add the S, Antoine Weeds.
Antoine Weeds. Now, can I ask you a question? Did I tell you? Now, I just want to ask you a question. Did I tell you that Michael Thomas would absolutely torch people against the Colts? I did. But did I tell you that he had a heart of gold? I didn't know he was a dope-ass dude. Did you see what he did?
What?
Like, he went Kris Kringle all on everybody from his Saints team. He gifted the entire team Jordans.
What kind of Jordans?
Dude, do I look like a shoe
I
expert?
knew. I was just trying.
Dude, my daughter bought me these, you jerk. I think they're Nikes.
There's some Jordans. Oh, the ones on your feet?
I don't know.
But that's $300 a pop for those shoes.
That's what
that
I'm
he bought.
saying, man. Like, that's awesome.
But he did sign a 5-year, $100 million extension in the offseason. So, I mean...
Oh, you got to point out that he signed a $100 million contract.
He's got the money. I'm saying he can afford it. Really
No,
good.
just
Really,
kidding.
but no, seriously, really, I mean, nice guy, too.
Dude.
As well as a good football
Just so
player.
you know, 1,500 yards receiving this year and 8 touchdowns. And he's got another game. Yeah, he's a baller. Straight up balling. Speaking of balling, we have lost this guy named James Wiseman. I repeat, James Wiseman, unlike Ezekiel Elliott, who's cheesing on the sideline, like a Mavs game, and unlike a lot of people that were able to find, by the way, Serena getting boxing lessons from Mike Tyson. Talk about weird. I don't even know where to go with that one. But anyway, the world has definitely changed. Mike Tyson, never mind. Don't even make me get started. But anyway, remember he went to jail. Do people remember that? Wow. Okay. Anyway, but this is the other thing is I got to bring up a whole lot of things because coming up next is Isaac Simpson. Now, Odell Beckham, he said he wants to play for the Browns in 2020. I don't know if that's true, but can I tell you something? In 2019, 2020, our unicorn, the best piece that we got, and I'm talking about we as Memphis Tiger fans, and basketball that is that I'm talking, the unicorn, James Wiseman, he will not return. He is going to get ready for the NBA draft. I will also tell you, don't you dare get mad at that young man. His dream was to come to the University of Memphis. He signed here. He came to play here. The NCAA, basically, you know what it did him. And it's very unfortunate. I wish him the best. I wish this team the rest of the year the best, and I hope everybody goes out there and supports them because they are still ballers. They still can go very, very far, and I think they're going to be great. But I will say, for Memphis fans, it is very hard to sit here and just do the show and pretend that it doesn't hurt. It is hard to lose a James Wiseman. He was a reason to celebrate. He's actually a reason today to mourn a little bit. But we're going to have to, just like those players and Penny Hardaway and the rest of the team, you're going to have to get up off of it, get off the mat, get going. And they got another game coming up, and we're going to talk with Isaac Simpson about the future of the program. Where do they go from here? What do you expect? Whole lot to talk about, and it's all Memphis Tigers on the other side. We're talking Isaac Simpson. You don't want to miss it, but you always have to remember one thing, and that is the best barbecue in the world, Central Barbecue, baby. It's like the James Wiseman of barbecue. 4 locations, though. See, we only got 1 Wiseman, but we got 4 Central Barbecues. And if you go downtown, you go to Central, you go to Summer, you go to the new one on Poplar, you're going to get nothing but the best. And I will tell you also, they have a new, that's right, it's Eat CBQ. That's right, eatcbq.com. Bing, bang, boom. You're going to absolutely love it. Do you remember back in the day it used to be cbqmemphis.com? cbqmemphis.com? Not anymore. CBQ Memphis has changed to, it's something very, very simple. Very, very simple. Can you say eat? Yes, you sure can. Go on to that website, baby. eatcbq.com. That's eatcbq.com. Ship that barbecue anywhere in the good old US of A. You'll be so, like, people will love you. I told you I got a new pair of shoes. If you need to close a deal, go to eatcbq. Ship that barbecue. They're going to love you. And if you ever need a party, they cater. If you ever want to have a party there, downtown, the room, we had over 100 people. It was perfect. It was awesome. I loved it. Central Barbecue, because they are simply the best. We'll be right back. We got to talk about James Wiseman, the best in basketball, probably the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. He will not play next year or this year for the University of Memphis Tigers. In fact, he is now working out right now, getting ready for the NBA draft. Again, I can't blame him, but we will talk about all that and more with Isaac Simpson from Rivals on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Farmers Insurance knows that when you're in the car and that song comes on, yes, that's the one, you have no choice but to pull out your imaginary drumsticks and smash those cymbals and stomp on that kick pedal, which unfortunately is the accelerator pedal. And we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent who knows a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Mid-South Power Distributors is your source for all things diesel. For more than 26 years, they've supplied all the diesel parts that you need. From simple repairs to complete overhauls, they have it all. Whether it's heavy, medium, light duty, agricultural, marine, or off-road, Mid-South Power is the leading source for all things diesel. Fuel injection, turbochargers, engine parts, alternators, starters, and brakes. They can supply all the parts and services you need. Stop in today at 3250 Mill Branch Road in Memphis or call 901-396-0710.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Join Sports 56 Middays this Friday from 10 to 1 at Classic Arms, 1740 Germantown Road behind Corky's. 'Tis the season at Classic Arms with all kinds of holiday specials. Pay no sales tax on all firearms. Buy, sell, trade, Classic Arms does it all. Plus, we'll be giving away Tigers basketball tickets and AutoZone Liberty Bowl tickets. We also have Garibaldi's Pizza, so we've got your lunch taken care of. That's this Friday at Classic Arms on Germantown Road behind Corky's. Come see us.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train. You know you about to wind up dead. You don't head back to Tennessee jail. The rich man step on my poor head. When you get back, you better butter my bread.
What is up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. I am your sports mixologist, John Harden. You are brought to the airwaves, of course, by the wonderful FM signals of 96.1 FM and, of course, 87 FM and the original AM 560. But you can also check us out now on Periscope and Twitter and all those wonderful things because we are all over the place now. You can look at us, you can see us. But we're about to talk with Isaac Simpson because, well, James Wiseman has said, I'm going to prepare for the NBA draft. January 12th is not the date that I come back to play for the University of Memphis. In fact, as of now, I am preparing for the 2020 NBA draft. I talked a little bit earlier. If you realistically look at this year's draft, it is one of the, as people say, the weaker drafts. A lot of people say, if you look at it, R.J. Hampton, and you got like the Ball brother, who's that clear-cut number one? I see people on the text line at 67129 saying, thanks, Wiseman, for screwing all of Memphis and the fans who supported you and the university. I 100% disagree with that statement. This is a gentleman who is a young man whose dream was to play for the University of Memphis Tigers. He signed with the University of Memphis to play for Memphis. He was going to play for Memphis until the NCAA came out and made a ruling that said, yeah, you can play. Yeah, you can play. And then all of a sudden, you know what? You're damn good. Nope, you can't play. And that's called BS. And if I was in the same position of him, as a grown man, I would say, why do I need you, NCAA? You need me. I wanted to play college basketball, but you don't pay me to play? I'm only going to be here 1 year. I'm going to the NBA draft. You know what? You did me wrong. I'm going to do you wrong. And then that's just capiche. And I don't see why anybody, to get upset at him is 100%. And I'll just be right. And I'm going to tell you right now, those who are texting, and I know who's texting me, you're wrong. Wiseman did nothing wrong here. In fact, the young man should be celebrated. He should never be shunned.
This is one of those situations. I want to bring in Isaac right now. Isaac, what's happening? But this is one of those situations where I think a lot of fans need to find the empathy within themselves, put themselves in his shoes for just 5 seconds and understand the decision he's making.
Hey, let me go and possibly blow out my knee, miss out on millions of guaranteed dollars for a university that's not going to pay me a penny, won't let me play half the year, actually has a-holes on national television questioning my mother, my father, and myself and my character. I'll tell you one thing. If I was actually Wiseman, there's a couple people in this country. See, that's the difference, I guess. I would have been, unfortunately, and probably arrested because I would have gone and found a couple of these ESPN analysts and slapped them upside their dead-gum head. Isaac, welcome to the program.
Man, what's going on, guys?
Oh, man, you know what, dude? Just nothing. Just chilling, hanging out, just talking. What's going on with you?
Man, it's crazy, man. There's never a dull day here in the Memphis sports landscape, man. Kind of surprised at this news, but I definitely understand it to those fans that are kind of getting on James, man. You got to look at the big picture, kind of like Gabe said, man. Put yourself in his position. I mean, the NCAA. This kid wanted to play college basketball. Like John said, he signed with the University of Memphis, and he was prepared to play. And they cleared him and then come back and said, nope, you're not.
Was he not at the ball games cheering on his teammates too?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, this kid, this is not a situation where he's just flaking out on his team. This kid wanted to play college basketball, and now you have the NCAA's kind of giving him the middle finger, and it's been about everybody except James, and now he's making a decision about James. And I can't blame the kid at all. I mean, this is a situation. I mean, you play for the organization, give you the middle finger, and you're going to come out on the backside of it and kind of make them some money on the backside. I understand him making that decision to kind of move on, especially when you also look at the injury risk and all the other things that kind of go into it. Like I said, I can't blame him at all for making a decision. Selfishly, I would love to see him play college basketball, but I definitely understand.
And now, when you look at the outlook of how this affects the Tigers, what do you think? I mean, as far as their tournament hopes, where they want to be at the end of the season. I know that college basketball isn't. There's no teams that are overly scary this year, but looking down the pipe, he would have been a huge piece to keep on the roster.
Yeah, I think it definitely puts a cap on their ceiling and lowers their ceiling a little bit. I mean, this is still a good basketball team. I mean, you have the number one class in the country. There's a lot of talent still in the team. You have another possible NBA player in Preston Chua, and you have guys like Boogie Ellis and Les Quiones once he gets back. They could develop an NBA-level players over time. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this team. I still think they'll make the tournament, but when you're talking about Final Four, possible championship contender, I don't know if that's the case anymore, and that's the unfortunate part for Memphis. But, I mean, again, you just can't blame a kid for making that decision. I mean, I understand it. And, again, man, I really stress the fans that are getting on James to step back and look at the big picture. I hope people don't just come out and dog James. I mean, you know there's going to be people that do that. But
there are a few people, though, that if there are a couple people out there, if they dog him, I'm going to go slap them upside the head because they are so for load management. I want to slap them. I'm going to be like, dude, he's managing his load. He's not going to waste it in college. He's waiting until he can sit out every fifth day in the NBA while he's getting paid millions of dollars. But no, in all reality, I've gotten text, one that says, hey, I'm a Cincinnati Bearcat fan. It stinks that I'm not going to get to see my Bearcats play against him again, but I will say this. He's making the right decision. Hell yeah, he's making the right decision. The NCAA forced his hand. I have to say one thing, I agree with you 100%, sir. NCAA really realistically forced his hands. Like, if you're a young man and you're looking around at the college landscape, and I'm being dead serious, how many number ones have we had this year? How many players are standing out heads and shoulders above the rest who are saying, I'm the number one player in the country right now? Like, do you see that person?
I mean, I don't. I mean, you look at this draft. I mean, there is no clear-cut number one in this draft. I mean, you go to the names, was it James Wiseman, Cole Anthony, LaMelo Ball's name come up.
That's what I keep laughing at. R.J. Hampton and LaMelo Ball, and I keep thinking to myself, I'm sorry, Wiseman's better than him, and he has to be thinking as a young person, why would I put myself on film where people are going to pick me apart? Maybe I move a spot down. I'm not going to move a spot up. I mean, he's already projected basically to be the number one. Plus, he would be taking a risk if he does come down after a dunk and lands on somebody's ankle. He could sprain an ankle. I mean, a shoe blows out. Weird things do happen. I'm just saying, but the young man, for anybody in this city to be mad, he was here at day number one, ready to go, and the NCAA said he was ready to go. They are the ones who have basically forced his hand. So no, if you have any anger, it all should be directed towards that sorry organization and never at this young man or at his family either.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And kind of like you said, I mean, he's assuming a lot of risk if he comes back, because you talk about you coming back in the middle of the season, you're trying to get work back in, you've been out. That could lead to injury risk as far as you fitting back in the team. You might look as great to start, and that could kind of hurt your stock. I mean, it's all negative for him, basically, other than just the fact of you're playing college basketball. And I think he's the type of guy, I think he wanted to play college basketball. But again, the NCAA kind of gave him the middle finger. And I mean, I don't have any problem with him sticking it back to them. But again, he would have been assuming a lot of risk trying to work himself back in, and that could have hurt his draft stock. And if you're already considered, you look at his draft, considered him possibly number one pick, there's no reason really to kind of come back and mess it up and put something on film that could possibly hurt you.
Why is it that somebody would say, yes, Memphis fans are selfish for wanting for wanting just one national championship? Another one bites the dust. Again, I say to you, Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, Duke had the number one draft. There is a field of 68 every single year. Nobody is guaranteed. You have to win a whole lot of games. Do I feel like Memphis has a better chance of winning a national title with James Wiseman? Damn right I do. Am I giving up on the season? No, I am not. But I will say, I'm not going to be that fan who's sitting there going, yeah, I'm selfish because I just want one national championship. Dude, you can't blame a kid who did every single thing that he was asked of him and tried. He tried so hard. He took out an injunction and went to court to continue to play basketball because he believed in himself and that he was in the right. And you know what? If this was the real world and it was basic, and like, unfortunately, you know, the law and the NCAA, it is not based on what is right or wrong. It is based on BS. And because we don't live in this great utopian, they took away James Wiseman's right. Not like there is no reason to be angry at this kid. And again, for this last person again to say, damn, it really sucks. My whole season is screwed. How do you think that like, why is it you can't see he didn't get to play either?
Exactly. I mean, it's not like he's like a a robot. These are real people that we're talking about, and things that they have to deal with, and what his family had to deal with. I mean, that is like extremely selfish. Like, I mean, I understand wanting to see the kid play, but you can't be mad at this kid for making a decision that he feels is best for him. And again, we talk about the NCAA and how terrible they are. This is, honestly, like you said, you could actually celebrate him because he's kind of taking a stand against the NCAA by making this move, by not coming out and playing, seeing the consequences that they can face for doing these type of things and what they did to James. To not have a player of his caliber play in the NCAA this year, I think it's hurting them. And I think that's possibly a good thing that could lead to change long term.
Yeah, and we consistently see people miss the human element, and that's the worst part of sports at times.
Yeah.
Is just how people don't use their head. They don't use empathy when they're talking about these athletes. They think it's just for their entertainment. They don't actually look at that. But, looking down the road, I mean, with a guy like James Wiseman, deciding and having to deal with this NCAA stuff, and you look at R.J. Hampton and LaMelo Ball and what they've decided to do and go overseas and play. Like this, if you're a one-and-done player, I think the NCAA is playing the hand the wrong way when they keep coming after these guys, because down the road, this is going to be – it's not going to be common at times, I feel like, to actually go to college and play for that 1 year, because it's going to become more and more pointless if the NCAA keeps up this act.
I definitely agree, especially when you see guys like R.J. Hampton. These guys are still projected to go top 4, top 5 in the NBA draft, and it doesn't hurt you to do that. Plus, you can go over there and make money for a year. You get endorsement deals for a year. You get paid. I mean, again, you're going to look at, why should I go to college for 1 year? I'm not really going there to go to school. I'm just trying to get to the next level, and you don't have to go to the NCAA. And these guys are showing that. And again, I agree with what you're saying. I think eventually this is going to get to the point to where if you're that level of talent, one-and-done type player, you're not going to go to college. You're going to go overseas and get paid for a year and come back over here and go in the top of the draft. I mean, why would you go to school? I mean, you don't have to go to class. You're basically a professional kind of overseas. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense to come and go to college. So I definitely think long-term this could be something that the NCAA looks back on, and they're going to –
please. I mean, it was a joke. But hold on, can I just say one thing that does bother me, and I do want this to come out real quick. And I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you, Isaac. But
man, no problem.
There is somebody who, of course, has to always drop something negative, and I can't help but read it and react to it. And it simply says, "I don't know why y'all are so upset, dude. You have to be academically eligible to play basketball in this country." I don't know what the hell you're reading, Holmes. He is definitely academically eligible. This is all about an $11,500 moving expense to his parents that was given a long deadgum time ago that he had no idea about when he was a young man. Yeah. And again, I don't understand the situation why we punish good people for doing good things. Penny, instead of giving all of his money to, I guess we can call the women in the at the joints that, a lot of men like to frink with. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Said he wants to give $1 million to the university. Oh, he's a booster. Oh, he wants to help a couple young people, make it in this world just like I made it, because everybody in this world needs at least a little bit of help. And that's just the way the world is. But God forbid he gets a little bit of help. NCAA comes down on him. And again, I just wanted to say so for you to come out there and say, you have to be academically eligible to play college basketball. Well, you need to realize the kid is academically eligible to play college basketball. It had to do with him taking money.
Yeah, I was going to say James is definitely not academically eligible. I mean, he's one of the smartest kids out there. I mean, kids speak like 10 languages. I mean, so that's definitely wasn't an issue. It was definitely about the money. But again, I think a lot of people, when they look at this situation, they forget that James is the only innocent one in this. I think it's been about he's the one that's getting punished. And again, I think he finally decided that I'm going to make a decision for myself. And I think that's how you have to look at it. And again, these people out here bashing him, I just don't understand. Put yourself in his shoes and look at it from his perspective. And I think the picture will become a lot clearer.
And the other thing is, and last but not least, there was another, person who basically kind of came in and texted and says, the NCAA is probably laughing right now or whatever. And maybe they are. I don't think they're laughing right now. I don't think
No.
they really care. I think that it's going to come back and bite them in the keister. Maybe it won't because everybody gets March Madness crazy once they start filling out that bracket. But I will say one thing: at least a lot of people in this city watch a lot of basketball, and there's still going to be a lot of people watching a lot of basketball in the city when March comes around. But the fact that Wiseman is not going to be there, it is. Like, as of today, it does feel like the Grinch just came and stole Christmas away from me.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to not have that opportunity to see him play because I think he's going to dominate. I think he's the best player in the country, and you want to see the best players play. And again, I think there were other factors in this decision, but I do think the NCAA and their ruling had a lot to do with this. I think if they hadn't came out with this ruling, I think we'd be seeing James Wiseman play college basketball this entire year. So I definitely think they played a big part in it, and it's tough as a Memphis fan. But
what does this mean for Penny going forward?
That's going to be interesting, and how this affects recruiting. I've kind of talked about Jalen Green. I think if he goes to college, I think he's going to come into Memphis. But I've always thought in the back of his mind, I've talked with his dad, and they've told me that they're 99% going to college. But I got a feeling that especially looking at how this situation played out, if Memphis was where he wanted to go, I kind of think we might see that kid go over to Australia, kind of like R.J. Hampton did. I think this could have impact recruiting going forward. It's interesting. They don't have anybody committed right now, and a lot of the guys that they were going after, the options are kind of running out. So Jalen Green is kind of that big fish that they still have on the hook. But we'll see how this plays out. But I definitely think it could have some ramifications going forward.
Now, do you still think that there is going to be any NCAA punishment coming down the pipeline going forward for this team this year?
Man, I want to say no. I'm never surprised, though, with the NCAA. I think they punished them enough, especially now that James is not going to play at all. I just think it would be crazy to kind of come back with sanctions. But you never know. I would say no right now, but nothing that the NCAA does ever surprises me.
Now, this is kind of a weird question, and that's exactly how it was addressed to me. But it says, but does James still have to pay back this money? And the reason they're asking is because how it affects Penny going forward. Like, if James's family doesn't pay back, will this look bad on Penny going forward?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I would say no, because if he's not going to play, I don't know, because that was directly in effect of him being reinstated and coming back and playing NCAA basketball. Now that's not the situation, I would think that it wouldn't be any of their business anymore, honestly. But yeah, that is something to kind of look at. That's an interesting question, but I don't think you would have to pay that back at this point.
Now, do you believe, after looking, and this is just another texter, and I hate to do this because it is kind of painful, but after watching this season from, the Zags and Louisville and seeing all the teams who have been ranked up at the top and how they've fallen and who they played, when you looked around the country and you watched this team and you knew that Wiseman was going to come back and you had Lester coming back and you kind of saw them growing and you saw the way they, held on it, with Ole Miss and dropped NC State on the road and just went up to Tennessee and just manhandled them. And you kind of had that feeling, going forward that if you drop a Wiseman in on that team in January, you could turn that team into possibly the number one team in the country. And there are a lot of people who really did think that. My question, though, is now that you can't drop that guy in January and everybody's expecting it, how much pressure does this put on Lester?
Yeah, I think it's going to put pressure on not just Lester, but
Precious as well.
The entire team, and Precious and Penny and his coaching staff, because I think they were preparing to add a guy like Wiseman, which is unprecedented, to add a talent of that level of that talent in January to kind of infuse back in this team was going to be crazy. Like you said, you look around the country and there's not a dominant team, and you think about adding James and Lester back. I was really feeling good about this team going into March and what they've been able to do, because I don't think with James, I think that could have been the best team in the nation if they came together and hit their stride at the right time. I really thought this team could really get on a run. Now, I think this team is still talented. I think they're going to make the tournament. They still should run through the American.
I mean, they're 12th in the country or 11th in the country?
Yeah, I mean, and they've won. I mean, they've won. Still beat Ole Miss, like you said. Still beat NC State.
9-1 on the season.
Got a top 25 win at
game.
Tennessee. So, I mean, I think they'll still win a lot of games. I think I don't know what the seeding will be. I think the NCAA works without James. They might kind of dock them a little bit because of that. They shouldn't, but I think they might. But I think this team still has opportunity to make Sweet 16. But I think talking championship, I mean, you never know. I mean, you see Cinderella teams. Like you said, 64 teams, anything can happen, but I definitely think it does lower their ceiling a little bit, but not to say that they can't get on a run and do something special still, because there's still a lot of talent here. But again, it does put pressure on guys like Precious and Lester and frankly, the whole team and Penny and his staff.
And I'm running out of time. I got to get to know this. Who do you think the NCAA punished the most? Did they punish James Wiseman? Did they punish Penny? Did they punish this team? And why is it that punishment it seems like is basically the strong arm of the NCAA? Like, I don't see a loving NCAA. I don't see a helping hand NCAA. It's always the strong damn arm of the NCAA. And who do they punish the most? Did they punish Memphis fans? Did they punish Coach Hardaway? Did they punish James Wiseman? Did they punish his teammates? Who got it the worst?
Man, that's a tough question, because you could argue that pretty much all three are severely damaged by this. I mean, you look at the University of Memphis, to have a guy like James Wiseman, and for the fan base to have a guy like that on the team, to be able to watch a guy like that on a night in, night out basis, you were kind of robbed of that. I think, again, this teammates, the opportunity to possibly play for a championship, I think that, like I said, I'm not going to count anything out, but I think that kind of dampens that. So it hurts the team, it hurts his coaching staff, it hurts the University of Memphis, and I even think it hurts the NCAA long term. And again, I think at the end, this could be the start of something that could cause change when you have these top level players, and it seems like the NCAA is making it hard for these type of guys to play. I think these guys start looking elsewhere, and I think it hurts them in the long run. So it's a bad deal all the way around for everyone involved. It is just tough to see, but again, in the end, I understand the decision that he made, and I understand why he made it.
Isaac, I could have talked to you for another 2 hours. It's a big story going on. It's national news. James Wiseman, the best player in college basketball, will not suit it up, but he will be getting ready for the NBA draft. He does go number one, doesn't he?
I think so. I mean, that size at 7 foot, I think in the end, if you got a 7-footer that talented, they don't call him a unicorn for no reason. I think he ends up going number one.
Oh, man, it's crazy, man. Hey, Isaac, when all the stuff is going down and things are breaking and people need to find out what's going on, where should they go?
You can check us out over at TigerSportsReport.com. As well as check me out at Isaac_Rivals on Twitter. We got a lot of stuff going on, man. We'll be in Dallas for the Cotton Bowl next week. So we have all kind of coverage for that. So make sure you go over TigerSportsReport.com and check it out.
Man, Isaac, I can't believe how long we did it, but man, that was fun. And unfortunately, it was just a bad topic. But I wish you a Merry Christmas. And unfortunately, I hate to be the Grinch to deliver all these Memphis fans that the Unicorn has decided that he's going to have to move on. Tigers are not in his plans. He's getting ready for his future in the NBA draft. Isaac, be good out there, brother.
We'll do it, man. Merry Christmas to you guys, too, man. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, man. I got to get out of here in a minute. But before I do, I got to say, if you want to look super stylish and profiling, you always go to Frontier Western Store. Why? Because Christmas is almost here, and if you need to find boots, they have the largest boot showroom on planet Earth, 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. I'm telling you, you will look good. And the other thing is, you want to look good, so you go down to, 5880 Goodman Road, Olive Branch, but you got to have money to buy some stuff from Frontier Western Store. Not a lot, but you got to have money. Now, if you need some money, I know a way to get cash in a flash. If you know somebody that needs to sell their house, my buddy Bill is giving $500 right now. Finder fee, you call 901-406-1101. Bing, bang, boom. Guess what? He's going to buy that house and going to give you a $500 finder fee. And couldn't you use that for Christmas? You can go down to Frontier Western Store. You can look dope and fly. $500, that'll get you a lot of clothes. I mean, you can get Ariat jeans. You can get Carhartt shirts. You can get everything you need. But if you need to sell your house, and I'm being dead serious, any house, any area, as is. Simple as that. From Collierville to downtown, from South Memphis to South Haven, just call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. I got to go. Wolo and Brett are about to jump up in here. Wiseman is going to the NBA. I don't blame him. NCAA, you're bonk.
It's a winter wonderland at Envy Nail Bar, and if you're looking